Your Meridian have identified a ghoul who may be a candidate for defection. Unfortunately, the Grineer have already come to the same conclusion. I need you to rescue this individual before it's too late. You've been detected. Hurry up and free the prisoner before that collar explodes. The guards are down. Defuse the collar now. You've freed the prisoner. Now escort them to safety.
Just trying to look at that ghoul model. It's creepy.
Debriefing the
Weird.
detector now. Keep moving while I process this intel.
That again.
Our target is still in hiding.
Though to be fair, I don't think I could get any of the silver or gold stuff yet. Those are later on rewards, I think.
Ghoul heat signatures in
I think
the
it goes
soil
in
sampling
stages.
location. Locate and eliminate the threat.
Maybe? Don't have a clue.
All parents, I want a future for my children. As long as that future involves dead Tenno maggots.
I'd love to go kill him. Could try and go do that mission. Just there's never people for it. Going to die.
No ghouls remain. Keep moving.
My ghouls kill to live, and live to kill, and kill, and kill!
Careful. Subterranean ghoul signatures, and lots of them.
Ow. Dead. Move. Oh, that's cool.
This area is clear. Move on.
I really don't have a chance of keeping up with them if they're using archwing damage. Archwing things. Wait, what? What's with all those? Okay, yeah, I don't have a chance if they're doing that.
Communications across the plains. Analyzing now. Intel suggests our next capture target has intel on the Ghoul Alpha. Bring them to me. Something makes these ghouls different from other Grineer. I need to know what. Bring me one for study.
Okay, got 4 of them. Damn it.
There's the officer. Capture them.
go. That was easy.
Interesting. Deep scans show this ghoul may be vulnerable to ultra-refined Grottrol. This information could help us.
It's handy that they keep so much of it around, so.
Your hard work has borne fruit. I have located our target. Every pack has an alpha. I've identified one. Draw out this ghoul and destroy it.
Come out! Come out! Come out! Meet your new friends! It's sleigh time!
So hard to be relevant in a fight when they can do shit like that. Not new, just something that I've gotten again after selling the rest. Okay, that's some new roads.
That's it. The target's been out for a fight. Make it their last.
Stub a blueprint, hunter munitions.
Pushing up Dragon Lily. The rest of them shouldn't be too difficult for one of your comrades to clean up.
No idea what's up with the crazed chainsaw sound, but sure. I love getting the power on these. It's the only time you can actually speedily get around the zones. Means you do the second strike, but sure. Finally. Took a moment. I think that's there, though it didn't get any rep, which is fine. Leave squad. Equipment. Mods. Hunters. Okay, damn it. I already have that stuff. The only one I haven't yet is the gold one.
You pay me in red, I pay you in silver.
Oh, it's up here now. Show me.
One more off the docket. Hop to.
There. Weird.
A ghoul defector. Think that's possible, Tino? Cressatal of Steel Meridian seems to. He tells me they were contacted by a ghoul trying to defect. Grenier intercepted the message, and now that ghoul is being held for dissection. Make sure that doesn't happen.
Wonder would they actually accept the ghoul?
And eliminate a group of ghoul burial grounds.
Probably not. Steel Meridian might. Christ.
Locate and eliminate the threat.
Oh yeah, I used the wrong phrasing earlier. I said like killing them, you get scanting. No, you get books and lore for killing them. That's what I meant to say. I just completely said the wrong something else because I'm an idiot. I know, I just used wrong terminology. Ow. Okay, one orbiting. Actually, no, maybe. Actually, yeah, that's probably why I said scans, because you get information on the end. Like, documents outright called the same name as the enemy. It was probably why I made the mistake. If it's actually a mistake. Maybe I'm just not remembering something that I figured out before. Only half remembering something I figured out before. That maybe that is actually counting as, the new, instead of scanning them normally, maybe it's counting as it. Who knows? I barely any recollection of this, so I can't comment. Reload. Fast hands. Devour Part 2.
This area is clear. Move on.
Born to Die complete. So got a new entry to read.
My favorite ghoul is the one that rips your maggot head off!
Careful. Subterranean ghoul signatures, and lots of them.
Reload. Hit it. Move.
That worked. Grenier forces have gained our army. This will make our ultimate rescue mission more manageable.
I'm getting actually rather tired.
Steel Meridian says that our defector was
Okay, over this
captured
way.
when the Ghoul Alpha was holding them for Dr. Tengus. Find and eliminate this Alpha. Every pack has an Alpha. I've identified one. Draw out this ghoul and destroy it.
Wait! Time to play! Time to kill!
Sorry, I have to focus on the game because everything's so fast moving, it's a little hard to keep track. Slow is quite irritating.
Come out for a fight. Make it their last. With that Alpha out of the way, Dr. Tengus has no way of reaching the defector. This has bought us time. These walls no advantage. Break into nearby armored vaults and take everything inside.
So, is the gold effector in the armored vaults? It's kind of like the Oracle just got struck. Oh, it's actually stage 3 of 4. Okay, I thought for some reason this was stage. I just got stages confused.
Ghouls come out of the ground hungry for supplies. Break into these vaults and leave them with nothing. They dropped the data mass. Grab it. Good. Now insert that data mass into the console.
Ah, that's how you do it.
If they destroy
been a
the
while.
console, we'll never get the vault open.
I have no real way to take. Nice. There we go. How much longer? A minute something. Alright. Okay, here's another dropship. Okay. Ooh, Act Bronco leveled up. Now 17. Over halfway. Okay, that's 10. Ooh.
We're in. Take the resources. Well done. We need every advantage we can get against these ghouls.
Okay.
That did it. The defector's location has been...
No, I think I misunderstood the tiering system. I've been thinking that maybe only the later on stages and missions can give the better rewards. Maybe any stage and mission can give the better rewards. It's just all luck.
I need you to rescue this individual before it's too late. You've been detected. Hurry up and free the prisoner before that collar explodes. The guards are down. Defuse the collar now. You freed the prisoner. Now escort them to safety.
Tired. You can actually see the end destination on the map there for a moment. Once the prisoner gets a bit closer, the enemy reinforcements here will drop. Nice!
Tall sends her regards, Tim. If there's any way to redeem these monsters, the Steel Meridian will be the ones to find them.
Oh, there's a shield in front. Nice. Don't think most of them have though. Most of these have that. Travel over 10,000 meters on a stone, doing these. Off in the air. So that still creeps me out. Ugh. What kind of meat is it anyway? It's probably cloned tissue, given the Orkin's cloning shite. I'm not sure if we've seen outright stated yet, but they're probably the ones behind the infection. You know, the Orkin. Probably a cloning thing gone wrong. Like the Grineer were originally Orkin clone, like workforce clones, weren't they? Well, clone slave labor. So, oh, cool. But basically, yeah, the point I was making was they cloned stuff. They remember the Wars thing we read recently. The those people were bred, you know, were made to be Warists. They were particularly crafted. So, you know, wished. You know, Dorkin did plenty of that, and plenty of things went quite wrong on them. So I won't be surprised if they're the ones behind it, if that hasn't already been stated. To buy the rest of these.
I thought we'd seen the last of those ghouls, but no, they're back.
Okay.
I give you coordinates.
Bounties.
You work. No
Let's try this one, because at least here I'll get ones that I haven't gotten before. And I presume I'll probably get into a group.
We got a ghoul regiment about to take the plains. Scans show a mass of biosignatures ready to break ground. Find them and smash them. I need my planes safe again.
Beautiful. To be fair, I don't think the planes can ever be called safe.
Supply beacon, and I will call in the drop.
Nice.
That's the last pod. Destroy the supplies. Well done. Stronger ghouls are the last thing we need. Bring me a live ghoul. I want to see what it can tell me about Bayhek's intentions.
Evil. There. There you go.
Something makes these ghouls different from other Grenier. I need to know what. Bring me one for study.
They're
There's the officer. Capture them.
shittily made.
Our captive appears nonverbal, but that does not mean he has no secrets to share. I'll update you on my progress. Ghoul alphas are the strongest of the strong. Leaders of the pack. Vahek's pride and joy. Send a message to Vahek by killing this pack's alpha. Every pack has an alpha. I've identified one.
I hate how she will say one thing, and it's perfectly fine as its own self-enclosed statement, and then she rephrases it in a more general way. Or well, to be fair, both ways might be pretty general, but you know, she just basically repeats herself in a different way. Like, I found a ghoul for you to kill. Okay. Found another ghoul for you to kill. Okay. Warframe. New phase.
That's it. The targets come out for a fight. Make it their last.
Rude.
All that anger and no have to channel it. They have the lot pleased.
Brilliant. Another journal entry.
I need you to take out local
Ooh,
concentration
another one.
of ghouls before we can begin our final assault.
Christ, that's a good chunk away.
Ghoul heat signatures in the soil near your location. Locate
And
eliminate
no ships that can nab. Because of course not. Could nab one of them, that would make my life easier.
You will leave in them.
So I'm getting from this is just for a moment there my mind drifted and I thought, you know, Canadians for some reason put their milk in bags. Are these ghouls the Canadian? Are these? Yeah, are these ghouls the Canadian milk of the Green Air Forces?
This area is clear. Move on.
Watch your step, Tenno. My ghouls could be anywhere.
So I got another thing complete there. I hope the journal entry tells me what I've read and what happened.
Careful. Subterranean ghoul signatures, and lots of them.
Nice.
No ghouls remain. Keep moving. Eliminate any ghouls that emerge from the ground.
So we've any that emerged from the sky. Gotcha. I come home from 7-Eleven, they're fine too. The tide of coals and flesh. Beautiful. Overwhelming numbers.
Hey, oh! Those dirt nappers didn't
Nice.
know what hit them. Few more runs like this, and the planes will be back to normal. Levels of danger.
Okay. And now we just try and head back. But we're gonna get teleported because there's no way I'll, you know, get there. It's so damn far away.
Rise from your cold beds, my creations. Spit the earth from your mouths and kill.
Let's keep moving. I wonder what a ghoul's lifespan is. Like, barring, you know, combat deaths, which probably makes up the totality of their fatalities. So, I wonder, like, how long could they live, excluding those? Like, they, you know, became a farmer somewhere and weren't being gunned down. How long would they live? Plus 5% critical chance link. Oh, it's for beasts. Oh. Vested impediment? Yeah, leave here. I don't have it unlocked, can't do it. Can't do that either. Could do that, but I don't care. You know, I don't care either. Oh yes, let's go read. Yeah, I'm still looking for a bit. Devourer. It came through the wall. All I remember is the roar, the open maw, the frank foulness of its breath, the lolling tongue, and the way two of my friends were crushed beneath it in a grain silo. The way it seemed to fall in love with tearing them apart over and over and over. Interviews in the fields, a dull and plain, conducted by Sagor Sava.
Every living thing longs to be whole. Every living thing yearns to defy death. If from death you returned, yet the part you loved best did not, what then?
Huh. Well, that's freaky. It came at me, wailing, like a lost thing screaming for help. Then it wrapped its clay cold arms around me, and here I am. Barely anything left of me now, lying in this bed except for a few stories, and the memory of its face, like a newborn child.
I had the corpse laid on a dissection rack, ready for a full surgical examination. Then, like any animal dreaming, the paw twitched. I glanced at the vitals scanner, expecting to see some anomalous electrical reaction taking place, contracting ancient muscles, but no. What I saw there was a beating heart. I did not revive specimen VK7. Before my eyes, she willed herself back to life. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. Some speak of feeling a connection to something greater than themselves, to which I laughed, as any right-thinking corpus would. Life is profit, profit is life. But in that moment, watching that animal claw her way out of death's dark pit, though I did not admit it to myself, something in me was forever changed.
Kanzu gave us standing orders. Shoot this omen first. We'd seen what they'd done to our brothers and sisters. That was not going to happen to us.
I found her sharp gaze unsettling. The way she would watch my every move from her cage unnerved me. When a visitor came, I would watch VK7 studying their habits. In time, she came to anticipate regular arrivals, having memorized their schedules. On the morning of my 4th shift, I entered my laboratory to find her cage door open and VK7 gone. One consequence of breathing life back into a world is unintentionally resurrecting life forms and viruses one finds less desirable. The infestation is both of those things. Reports returned of some hive sites found destroyed, and then of a large beast found at others. An animal intelligent enough to learn and react to corpus behaviors and patterns. Some claimed it had learned to measure ammunition expenditure, to better attack when a target was most vulnerable. Needless to say, almost none who attacked the beast survived. This had to be specimen VK7.
And I can't listen to it again. Maybe if I click back in.
I found her sharp gaze unsettling. The way she would watch my every move from her cage unnerved me. When a visitor came, I would watch VK7 studying their habits. In time, she came to anticipate regular arrivals, having memorized their schedules. On the morning of my 4th shift, I entered my laboratory to find her cage door open and VK7 gone. One consequence of breathing life back into a world is unintentionally resurrecting life forms and viruses one finds less desirable. The infestation is both of those things. Reports returned of some hive sites found destroyed, and then of a large beast found at others. An animal intelligent enough to learn and react to corpus behaviors and patterns. Some claimed it had learned to measure ammunition expenditure, to better attack when a target was most vulnerable. Needless to say, almost none who attacked the beast survived. This had to be specimen VK7.
I'm just curious as to what the specimen is. Initially, I was thinking it was and expired, but no, it couldn't be.
Somehow, she had managed to infiltrate the facility, bypass 2 different security gates, and had gained entry to my laboratory without raising an alarm or my awareness. She held in her jaws a severed hand. Blackened, fossilized, gently, she laid it before me and, with a meaningful glance, turned, padded away into the shadows, and was gone. I analyzed the hand. What I learned that night, alone in my laboratory, would become an obsession to focus the remainder of my life.
A tide of calls and flesh. Sudden terror, the ominous surprise, and sheep we bought. Ghouls or shock troops, fast grown into diapause bags, cultured from repurposed Grenier gene slurry. The key to victory is quantity over quality. A tide of calls and flesh to crush any enemy foolish enough to stand before it. Sagor Sava, morphologist and antiquarian. Ghouls are far from the finest of Grenier troops, but while they lack in martial skill, they make up for sheer horrifying volume.
I was convinced. Specimen VK7 wanted Cora resurrected. Why else bring the hand to me? Why trust me with this sole remaining piece of a lost Orokin warrior? The evidence of such rich, nuanced cognition on the part of an animal. That was the real treasure here. The value of which, I knew, would be lost on my superiors. VK7 would be hunted down and, at best, captured for testing. At worst, well. Therefore, I told them none of this. To no avail.
Ghouls are deployed in advance of regular Grenier troops. Before then, those troops must keep the ghouls sedated, at least they turn upon those who fail to feed them.
Specimen VK7 was tracked to a box canyon 4.3 clicks south-southwest of the atmosphere processing station. The horror of the hives, as she had come to be known, had been deemed unworthy of study, and was to be destroyed in her lair. I positioned myself at the entrance to her cave home and waited. To doom myself in the name of some imagined ideal. My own voice screamed in my head. What are you doing? What are you doing? Once, not so long before, I was a man who would have sold this animal for profit. Now I stood in the freezing cold, surrendering all I had for, some would say nothing. I would say, something greater than myself. They came, picking their way through the snow, heads bowed, pushing against a numbing, slashing wind that froze skin and carried my voice to them. I begged them to stop, pleading VK7's case, with a bomb in my hand. It went about as well as you'd expect. They did not listen. Numsol is employed, traditionally, as an animal tranquilizer, but converts to an aerosol easily enough. The canister rolled from my fingers and erupted in a geyser of brown-green gas, thrown towards the hunters by that roaring wind, bathing them. I am a better scientist than saboteur. Their respirators dealt with the Numsol as handily as every other contaminant, and I was promptly arrested. But VK7 did escape. I achieved that much.
Born to die, especially degenerate specimens, are employed as suicide troops.
The atmosphere processor wasn't made for imprisonment or interrogations, but the lack of facilities did not prevent them performing both. Bound and beaten in maintenance closet A5, I told them everything. It doomed me. Zil, the oxygen tech from Reclamation 3, had a previous career in psychological operations for some branch of the military. Therefore, he had been selected to administer to me, to interview me and, ultimately, to execute me. Barrel pressed to my forehead, Zil said he would prefer it if I did not look at him. Obliging as ever, I closed my eyes. There was a sharp crack, then nothing more. I opened my eyes. Zil lay dead at my feet, limp, throat clasped in VK7's jaws. I was corpus no longer. Remaining on Venus would be death for both of us. We had to escape.
Still, I'm wondering what type of beastie VK7 is. Christ, there's a lot of fragments for this. New phase. Massive casualties may be inflicted upon mass-ranked ghouls without slowing their advance. This is a new phase in the Grenier campaign for dominance in the Origin system. One that has increased the stakes for every sentient being who calls it home.
That was, well, many years ago now. I have spent my life attempting to locate Cora's remains. Contacts inform me she was found, fused but intact, within the Oricon terraforming complex itself, and shipped off-world via a notorious Solaris rail agent, who subsequently vanished. I now believe, firmly, that her remains are to be found on the Eidolon Plains. I go there now, entrusting these encrypted logs to my old friend, Konzu, for safekeeping. There I shall put a lifetime of searching to rest. I have never doubted that VK7 survived Venus. And to this day, I still believe that, before I leave this life forever, I shall one day look up from my writings to find a familiar figure standing in my doorway, alongside her Kavat. I am Siegel Savar, a better man, as it turns out, than a scientist.
Damn it, I'm actually really interested in this. I wish there was more of this in the game, you know? Not all this stuff we have to struggle for, you know? It'd be great. So, I think what I meant to gather here is that the subject was a surprisingly intelligent Kavat, who was actually the pet of a dead Oricon. Cool. The children of Cetus can often be found chasing one another through the streets around landing bays when not helping their families with chores or running the businesses. Or the running of businesses. Digital games are popular, such as Shanta or Kerbrow and Volby. They can be found playing riding sticks or floating boats made from stale, hauled-out loaves of bread. Since the arrival of Tenno, a new form of gameplay has emerged, which children act out the tales they've heard of the Tenno.
In the dying days of the Oricon, with forums and promenades still blood-wet from Tenno betrayal, a colossal sentient descended upon ancient Ur, falling from distant stars to deliver upon Oricon a terrible and final ruin. Tower upon tower fell to its weapons, but one withstood, the Tower of the Unum. The Tenno scattered, but one remained. Gara, she and the Unum, inseparable. The Unum, lodestone of our people, and subject of 100 stories herself. The sentient was a deformed creature, twisted and massive, sent from some dark fold of distant space, a warped thing wounded by daylight. By night it was a terror, felling tower after tower, citadel after citadel. But by day it hid, blinded and pained. It was during the day that Gara roamed, yearning to strike it from creation while it cowered, weakened and blind, to safeguard her beloved Unum. But never could Gara find it.
So that's why the Adoans only come out, you know, the bits that we fight only come out during the day. Only come out at night. They're presumably bits of that beastie and share its weakness. The word Cetus in the Australian tongue means landless, cloudless, a body turned to dust, turned to motes on a careless wind. History says the town was found as a home for anyone, regardless of clad, trade, or origin. Friendships last a lifetime here. It's easy to imagine how, in the earliest days of Cetus, with the Odoans roaming the plains, the walls laid low and Grineer war parties pressing in, mutual support and protection would be essential. As science have improved, this trait has become a key part of Austrian culture.
By night the sentient was abroad, its titanic mass casting a terrible shadow across the land, the mass of it railing against the walls of the tower, yet kept at bay by the exertion of the Unum's colossal will and the sacrifice of her faithful. But such exertions could not be maintained forever. Gara yearned to strike out, to lash and tear at the monstrosity that threatened her love, but the Unum forbade it. At night the sentient was at the height of its power, and Gara's light would make her the most tempting of targets to a creature of such profound darkness. Gara's death would be certain. No, a different strategy was required.
What is known of the ancient warrior known as Gara comes to us from folklore and oral tradition, as she was the Om's closest companion, that when the Lotus instructed her children to flee, Gara remained, refusing to leave the side of the one she loved best. When the sentient was done raising a great many other towers, when it turned its myriad eyes and receptors towards the Unum, it was Gara who gave herself to protect her friend, shattering the sentient. The mountainous monstrosities that stride the plains, the terrorists, are all the remains of it. Vaguely, like, seeing that just kind of made me think of a weird samurai helmet. So that's... okay, that's interesting cleavage.
The sentient prowled and pressed and failed, never risking too much. For the sentient could not reproduce. What it lost forever. It had killed many cities before, felled many towers, but this little one prevailed. Why, it pondered in many voices, was that? The Unum knew she could not defend forever, nor could her faithful throw their bodies against the sentient in perpetuity. So she gave her followers some of her blood, her refined temple kuva, and they in turn gave it to the animals of the land. And the animals became an extension of her, and she became an extension of them. And the animals roamed and searched, and they found where the sentient chose to hide itself.
Huh. The distant, mournful howls of a Diadoan, yearning for the terror it once was, drifting through the alleys and byways, across the rooftops to the ears of sleeping families.
The sentient sensed this subterfuge, and capturing one of the Unum's animals, opened it up for examination. And what little of the Unum that was present there lit the sentient's mind like the dark star from which it had fallen. The sentient, you see, could not procreate, but in the temple kuva, it tasted healing, completeness, a future. It devoured each and every last Unum animal, but it was not enough. The sentient turned its hundreds of eyes toward the tower with new understanding. It would not destroy the tower. It would become the tower. It would kill the Unum, take her place, and one with that healing palace give birth to a race of itself. Gara and Unum knew where the sentient was. The sentient knew the tower was the future of its race. The sentient threw itself at the tower, no longer cautious, taking great losses and knowing the prize was worthy of it. Should it succeed, all losses would be replaced 1,000-fold. This is when, across the plains, the great pylons ignited for the first time. Sheets of energy sprung up between them, powered by the will of the Unum at their epicenter, trapping the monstrosity within. Loyal Gara, unwilling to heed inaction any longer, broke from the side of the Unum and flew out at night, her eyes on the sentient mind.
Hey, just had to mute my mic for a moment there. A bit of background noise, and just making sure I was well. Line across, line up, line to the left, line to the right, line up. Line across, line up, line to the left, line to the right, line up. Okay, all's good. I'm just gonna record these last few, then I'm gonna call quits. It's quite late, I just saw. Tumor. Fill the gourd with bamboo leaves, then add steaming water and imbibe through a burnished jotto reed. For your old Austrian tradition, to serve it to guests signifies union and friendship. Harpu, fresh brewed timer with melted Volby butter, creates a filling, tasty beverage. It is often bulked out with salt and bulba flour, always served hot. Duku liqueur, highly sought after. The Suma Dani, a lowlands marsupial, eats the pecca nut, and this creates a fun paste. It's from this paste that the Austrians make Daku liqueur. Golden caviar, harvested from the depths such as the Dunate shelf. Kumchi, fermented sorghum, cheap liqueur. No Austrian would be caught drinking it in public. Any Alford who does is immediately seen as a greenhorn and an easy mark. Wine. Some merchants claim to be able to imbue a bottle of wine with the etheric signature of a person who wishes of a person one wishes to be rid of. Drink them in the evening, expel them by morning. Piss my way. Aitoda. Termite droppings. Mineral dents. Will keep a traveler going long after hunger should have dropped them.
The sentient, torn between its most coveted prize and the mortal threat, broke from the tower and turned back on itself to defend itself from noble Gara. But Gara's eyes were not for the sentient, but for the glittering man-sized device resting just beyond the gates. It had not been there before, but it was there now. It swatted Gara from the sky, drew it to herself, meaning to end her life there and then. The battle was terrible. Gara sustained injuries she would not survive. But in her final moments, brave Gara seized upon the device her beloved Unum had crafted, seized it to her breast, and allowed the sentient to draw her in one final time. Toward its body, toward its core, toward the seat of its intelligence. From within, the sentient unfurled myriad feelers, probes, tendrils, viciously toothed and made for killing. They swept toward Gara violently, and the glass warrior made no defense. Her defense was her final attack. The device detonated, and the Unum cried out as night lit as day. The battle, the terror, was ended. The tower wall shook. The sentient's body shuddered, racked by a cacophonous energy. Forests fell as piece after piece, giant body after giant body, crashed to the plains and marshes and flatlands. Animals fled in spreading waves from pounding sky-high walls of dust, angered and whipped to fury by the death of a god. The last of Gara's energy arced from body to body, machine to machine, piece to piece, a horizon-wide applause of light, beautiful and terrible. And then, silence. All was still. The Onum's adherents wandered through the haze, calling for one another, lost in a miasma. Husbands seizing onto wives, children onto parents. It was over. Gara was never seen again. The sentients then became as they are now, senseless, wandering, yearning for a unity they sense more than remember. And the Onum? The Onum survived, alone, for centuries. Until today, when you stand here, reading this. This is Onko, Cetus Archivist, with my translation of the Gara legend.
I actually really like this. There's actually some nice bits of story to this. I just wish there were, they're more easily accessible, and there's like there's more meat to the actual general quests you're doing rather than just generic shit. Because it just ends up feeling like there's no real sense of progress. There's no nothing, it's just meandering. I have no idea what I've read and what I haven't. It's been too damn long. Originally we studied void occurrences from afar, observing and cataloguing the redistribution of galaxies, refining the cosmological evolution models. We're in a new age of cosmic exploration. Advances in space travel, partnered with determined curiosity, have brought us closer to our objects of study. What a revelation.
So I've pulled the plugs, and the Dax see and know. My heart surges, but I control it. A racing heart only shortens the fuse. The bone plugs in hand, I kick from the floor, red ribbons unfurling behind me as I take flight. After this, finally, the dream will end.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot about those being all Ordis. Huh. Wish I could have more than one form I'm making at a time. Could rush it, then set up a new one, but no. Mastery 6. Oh, that's next rank. I don't have enough money. There we go. So, I'm gonna call this here. I'm gonna call it here. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you join me again soon. If there's anything you'd like to tell me, please let me know in the comment section below, but until then, love and peace, baby.